Come on, come on, come on, come on. As one Crookshank, your one and only Move Swiftly speaker, checking in for a daily Move Swiftly thought, giving you a perspective on teamwork that you will not get anywhere else. We do not teach you how to rise to the occasion. That's not what we do. That's not what you're supposed to do. That's not what anybody does. In fact, what we teach you how to do here is fall to your level of preparation. And I cannot tell you how important that very thing is. Listen, there's so much that has happened in the past 24 hours that I don't fully have the energy at this point, because I might have slept a couple hours last night. But listen, the saying and what I tell you guys on this channel every single day, falling to your level of preparation, just know it's very fucking important, because life comes at you really, really fast. You have to be prepared in the moment when life happens. All right. And again, I'll give you details and context about why I'm harping on this point so much later on down the line. But you gotta fall to your level of preparation. You gotta be prepared. You don't know when the day is. You don't know what is going to be required of you of this very day. You don't know the patience that you're going to need. You don't know what's got to be in you until you actually live through it and you put yourself through it in a situation where you're prepared. It's called survival skills. Fall to your level of preparation. You're not rising to the occasion. You're falling to your level of preparation. All right. So all that being said, it leads me right in to today's Move Swiftly thought, which I want to harp on because it's not something I'm necessarily directing at a specific person, because what I have learned and what became very, very clear to me just yesterday is that it's me. It is as one Crookshank. It is your one and only Move Swiftly speaker, as one Crookshank. It is primarily my fault that I get so fucking annoyed with coworkers. All right, there's several coworkers, and again, not just the ones I'm currently dealing with now, but it has been a pattern with me in every job, every sense of employment, every kind of the situation I've been in when it comes to employment and being around and forced to be around colleagues or business associates, people that want to work with me. I get really fucking annoyed. I get really annoyed. And today's Move Swiftly thought is all about how to deal with people who annoy the fuck out of you. That is the thumbnail today. How to deal with people you work with that annoy the fuck out of you. The first thing you have to do, very first thing you have to do, and again, I'm teaching you as I'm going through it myself. This is my process. I'm giving you my process in terms of how to deal with people that annoy the shit out of you, is you take your right hand and you give yourself a pat on the back. You just give yourself a pat on the back, because the fact that they're annoying you means you care. The fact that you're annoyed by certain people means you're difficult to work with, means that you care enough to be difficult. You have an opinion, you have a personality, you have thoughts, you have actual constructive things, constructive, destructive, whatever. You have something to offer the workplace, which is what is needed. You don't need people nowadays, especially nowadays, you don't need people that are going to sit back and just agree with everything, the way everything is done. You don't grow a business like that. You don't grow an organization like that. You don't grow anything when it comes to just people who just want to sit back and just kind of just play the status quo, kind of play the game in which they do everything right and they just want to keep their job. You don't win like that. You win by being disagreeable. You win by going and creating new things. You win by just continuously being annoyed with the lack of incompetence amongst other people and calling out the lack of incompetence. So first thing you do, pat yourself on the back. The next thing you do, take a deep breath and understand your bigger picture. Understand really what's going on. Do not react in the moment. All right, do not react in the moment, and just take a bigger picture on what's going on. Get to the next moment, and then find the promotional opportunity within that moment. Find the thing, and here's because what happened yesterday was there was a situation that I had to deal with that really didn't necessarily require me to deal with, but because I was dealing with some people that just really, again, I have to work with. I don't have to necessarily like them, but again, you have to fucking deal with them. I just did what was asked of me because I knew in my mind, hey, I'm qualified to do it. If they're giving me the ranks to give to what it is they're telling me to do, and I do it here, there's the promotional opportunity for Aswan to say, hey, this is how I did it, this is how I handled it, and this is how the situation was, because these ones didn't want to do what it is they need to do. Again, I'm not giving you context because I don't have permission to share names and all that kind of stuff. Again, I'm a seasoned speaker enough not to put certain names out there and stuff like that. But if you know me personally, you know what the fuck it is I'm talking about, all right? But if you don't know me, then I'm just giving you because you can think of someone, and here's the thing, and I'll close you out with this concept. You can think of of an individual right now as I'm telling you the story. You can think of an individual right now that you deal with that you have that same thought about. You have the same mentality to where it's like, why don't you just fucking do what it is you're required to do? And what I'm telling you to do in this moment is you go ahead and create the opportunity for yourself, because when you get promoted, here's the thing about, I think it was Bill Gates who said this at one point. He said you should be really nice to nerds, or no, you should welcome lazy people, because lazy people are going to give you the opportunity to be promoted, because you're just going to do the stuff that they don't feel like doing, or they don't want to do, that they want to avoid, because they don't want to ruffle any feathers and shit like that. So again, all that being said, to today's Move Swiftly thought, to give it to you in a concrete fashion. When you deal with people that fucking annoy you, congratulate yourself because you care enough, lean into it, and just simply do the stuff that they don't feel like doing, and get yourself promoted, get yourself into a better situation, get yourself into a situation in which you are happy with, and it comes from the fact that, hey, some lazy person gave you the opportunity to do it because they didn't want to do it their damn selves, right? That's the long and end of today's Move Swiftly thought. All that being said, main website to check out to dive deeper into all the work I do, it's makeyourmove.com. That's makeyourmove.com. One-stop shop for your teamwork and your self-development needs. As one Crookshank, your one and only Move Swiftly speaker. Check it out. You guys continue to move swiftly. We will talk more soon.